Today on Tech 95, Netflix gets hacked. Again. Facebook can use your data when you least expect it, the history of the Pentium Processor, and much, much more. It's all coming to you right up next on Tech 95. This is Tech 95, Episode 5, recorded on June 18th, 2014. Who's spying on me this time? Hi, this is Jonathan Hewlett.
I'm Travis Smith.
And welcome to Tech 95. Oh yeah. This is our 5th episode.
Yep, 5th episode.
Woo!
Awesome. Well, let's get down to business since this is probably not going to be a very lengthy episode like last week.
Yeah, we had a special double-length episode last time.
Yeah.
Today we're going to shorten it.
Yep.
Had a lot of stuff to cover. Apple was jacking up everything. Don't they always?
I know, right?
But like we said, we are not against Mac. We're open to everything.
Yep.
Anyway.
Well, first things first. This rolled through CNET the other day. Netflix leaks usernames and passwords again. The article says, what do W4G, W4G, or Pootsty72 and Mini Mishimashi mean? Have in common? They're just around 500 Netflix passwords and usernames leaked online.
There are about 3 of the 500.
Yeah. But you may not have to worry. Hundreds of Netflix login credentials appear to have been... credentials appear to have been leaked online Thursday in a document posted by a hacker group known as DERP.
Derp. It must be a brony group.
Oh, whatever.
Literally, derp is like, in the brony terminology, derp is short for derpy, who is just a fan-based character. It's stupid, but anyway.
Anywho.
Recharge.
Nevertheless, you might not have to change your password this time. Netflix, which provides streaming video and DVD rentals to more than its 48 million subscribers around the world, says that it is aware of the leak. We're looking into it, a Netflix spokesperson told CNET. More than 1,800 passwords and usernames posted to Pastebin appear to be identical so far to a similar leak of Netflix passwords in December. Of the dozen or so credentials that CNET tested at random, none worked, and several emails sent to Netflix users on the list, one bounced. One person on the list confirmed that this list of passwords was an older one. One guy said, that was a password from about a year ago, said one guy, who added that he changed his Netflix password several times since then for security reasons. It is a good idea to occasionally change your password, and if you use that site normally.
And also for security reasons, we are not giving the names out of the people on these things, just for the privacy and security of the people that are in the article.
Yep.
It's just random. Anyway.
Last of the article. So why would Derp post a collection of outdated passwords?
Derp. That's a which one? Derp.
Yeah. Some of which might be inactive for disabled accounts. The answer is to troll and prank Netflix users because...
Like I said, they're derps.
Yeah. Because there's so much fear about actually having accounts hacked, since the consequences for not changing a password that might have been hacked could be severe. It's safer to change a password than risk financial headaches, but unless you see your email on the list and the password listed is your current one, and you probably don't have to rush to change it. Now,
in
our case, I googled leaked Netflix passwords, and apparently there's quite a few fake lists out there, from what I could tell. So, apparently, I guess this happens a little bit frequently. People just start making up emails, I want to say, and making up passwords to go along with the emails, and they end up never to be true. But something to scare the public.
To our viewers out there, just for your own personal safety and welfare, we recommend that everyone listening would check and if possible, change your password just to be safe.
Yeah, and one way to ensure that
Is use
if your password's been hacked, then you're gonna be seeing a few extra You'll probably be seeing a few extra movies in your recently watched because I subscribe to
you
Netflix.
own Netflix.
I know, right? I'm a Netflix subscriber. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is off topic, but what I just got this a few weeks ago. I thought you want to check it out.
Okay.
It's an old Texas Instruments calculator. This is Tech 95, and it's technology. It's a Texas Instruments electronic calculator.
What year is it?
About a 1968.
Yeah, it looks about 68, almost 70.
It's a TI programmer. It's got some pretty cool stuff. I got it from a friend of mine, and it still works. See?
Oh, okay. I see. It's got the little digital pad on it, and
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Well,
Anyway,
that
that was not history in the PC realm. That's coming up. This is just
that's coming up.
My sidestep second. Anyway, back to Travis. Let's see. Facebook's tracking your every move on the web. Oh dear, they do that.
Yep.
Seems like they've done that for a while.
They're starting to get to that. Over the weekend,
they're not that.
This is coming from lifehacker.com, which I like Lifehacker. It's a pretty cool website. They got a lot of tutorials.
Because you are one. You are a life hacker.
Nice. Over the weekend,
just kidding. He's awesome.
Dave Weiner wrote an article at scripting.com explaining how Facebook can keep track of where you are on the web after logging in without your consent.
What a whiner.
This guy, I'm not going to say his name, dug a little deeper and discovered that Facebook can still track where you are even if you are logged out. Even if you are logged out.
Even if you log out.
Yep.
But talking is so hard. That's our
Facebook,
slogan.
for its parts, has denied the claims.
Look,
regardless of who you believe, here's how to protect yourself and keep your browsing habits to yourself.
Close your browser when you're done.
The whole issue has stirred up a lot of debate in privacy circles over the past few days. Here's what the fuss is about and what you can do to protect your privacy if you're worried about it. The issue? Facebook's social apps are always watching. For quite some time now, Facebook user tracking hasn't been limited to your time on the site. Any third-party website or service that is connected to Facebook or that uses a like button is sending over your information without your consent. However, Weiner noticed that something mostly overlooked in the last week's Facebook changes. Facebook's new Open Graph enabled social web apps all send information to Facebook and can post to your profile or share with your friends whether you want it to or not. Essentially, by using these apps, just reading an article, listening to a song, or watching a video, you're sending information to Facebook, which can automatically be shared with your friends or added to your profile. Facebook doesn't ask for your permission to do it. The solution is to simply log out of Facebook when you're not using it. Avoid clicking like buttons and tying other services on the web to your Facebook account if you can help it. And he urges Facebook to make its cookies expire, which they currently do not.
Myers cookies expire really fast.
Digging deeper, logging out isn't enough.
That's Walmart.
This person looked over Weiner's piece and discovered the logging out of Facebook, as he suggests, may deauthorize your browser from Facebook and its web applications.
What a whiner.
I know, right? Hey, no insulting the guy.
Just kidding.
Can't help his last name.
Yeah, pretty much. And he brings up good points.
Yeah, he does.
So Mr. Weiner, if you're listening right now, we're not picking on you. We like you. You're awesome name. Just saying.
But it doesn't stop Facebook's cookies from sending information to Facebook about where you are and what you're doing. Let's see. Writing at AppSpy, he discovered that Facebook's tracking cookies, which never expire, are only altered instead of deleted when users logged out. This means that tracking cookies still have your account number embedded in them and still know which user you are after you've logged out. This also means that when you visit another site with Facebook-enabled social applications, from like buttons to open graph apps, even though you're a logged out user, Facebook still knows you're there, and by you, we mean specifically your account, not an anonymous Facebook user. This guy notes that the only way to really stop the Facebook from knowing every site you visit and social application you use is to log out and summarily delete all Facebook cookies from your system.
Pretty much. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna cut to the chase for time's sake. What can you do about it?
Nothing.
Whether or not Facebook is tracking your browser even when you're logged out, if you don't want third-party sites to send data to Facebook, you have some options. You could scrub your system clean of all Facebook.com cookies every time you use Facebook, but a number of developers have already stepped up with a browser extension to block Facebook services on other third-party sites. Here are a few. Facebook privacy list for AdBlock Plus. I use AdBlock Plus on my machines.
It's good.
Yeah, it works pretty good.
It is.
I noticed a lot if you're having a lot of slowdowns when you're browsing the web. Install that and it'll prevent those ads from loading. This is perfect for those who already have AdBlock Plus installed. Get ABP for Chrome or Firefox. Just download the subscription and add it to AdBlock Plus to specifically block Facebook plugins and scripts all over the web, including like buttons whenever you're not visiting Facebook directly. Facebook disconnect from Chrome is another one. Keeps Facebook from dropping those tracking cookies on your system in the first place and disables them when you're finished using Facebook-enabled services. It's essentially an on and off switch for third-party access to Facebook servers, meaning that you'll still be able to log into Facebook and use the site normally, but when you're visiting another site or using another application, that site or service won't be able to use your information to communicate with Facebook.
Oh, was I so blind? I didn't know this before. I feel so stupid.
I know. I need to do something about it on my machines too. Because I don't want people knowing, you know? Because what you do on the web is your business.
Exactly.
Not everybody else's.
Not that we're saying we condone doing bad, dumb, stupid stuff on the internet, but even if you do, that's no one's business.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just a privacy concern. Disconnect for Chrome and Firefox is a new plugin from the developer behind the Facebook disconnect, but it doesn't stop with Facebook. Disconnect takes a protection to another level and blocks tracking cookies from Facebook, Google, Twitter, Dig, and Yahoo, and prevents all the services from obtaining your browser or search history from third-party sites that you may visit. Let's see here. So yeah, install one of those plugins and make sure you wipe your cookies, because yeah. That can get pretty serious.
Yeah.
Did you have anything to add to that?
No. And now for the section of the show where I do all the talking. Welcome to History in the PC Realm with Jonathan Hewlett. If you lived back in the early 1990s, you may remember such processors as the 8486 and the 8386. The question many people have is, what came after that? Well, the answer is pretty simple. The Pentium Processor.
Look inside today's PCs. You'll find something pretty amazing. The Intel Pentium Processor. It gives PC software more life, more action, more energy. So if you want your PC software to really move, make sure your PC has the Intel Pentium Processor.
Many of you may remember the Intel Pentium processor as one of the most advanced processors of its time. The Intel Pentium processor was introduced on March 22nd of 1993. Its microarchitecture, dubbed P5, was Intel's 5th generation and first superscalar IA32 microarchitecture. As a direct extension of the 8486 architecture, it included dual integer pipelines, a faster floating point unit, wider data bus, separate code and data caches, talking is so hard, and features for further reduced address calculation latency. In 1996, the Pentium with MMX technology, often simply referred to as the Pentium MMX, I have hiccups, was introduced with the same basic microarchitecture, complemented with an MMX instruction set. Travis, could you please keep reading from here to here?
The often simply.
Start with. Hold on. Let me finish. The Pentium MMX was introduced with the same basic architecture, complemented with an MMX instruction set, larger caches, and some other enhancements.
The P5 Pentium. The P5 Pentium competition. Sorry, just can't resist. Included the Motorola 68060 and the PowerPC 61.
601. Get out of my chair. It came out with the 68060 and the PowerPC 601, as well as Spark, MIPS, and Alpha microprocessor families. That is SPARC, MIPS, and Alpha. Those are the names of the families. Most of which also use superscalar in order dual instruction pipeline configurations at some time. Excuse me. Oh no. It's gone. My hiccups are gone. Hooray!
Yay.
Intel's Larrabee multi-core architecture project uses a processor core derived from a P5 core, P54C, augmented by multi-threading 64-bit instructions and 16-wide vector processing unit. Intel's low-powered Bonnell microarchitecture employed in Atom processors cores also uses an in-order dual pipeline similar to the P5. The major improvements of the Pentium over the i486 architecture was performance. It had superscalar architecture, 64-bit external data bus, and that doubled the amount of information possible to read. Separation of code and data cache. It lessened the fetch and operand read and write conflicts compared to the 486. Much faster floating point unit. If you've heard one of our past episodes, I believe it was episode 3, when I was talking about the 486 processor, I believe what it said was the spell of 3D graphics spelled an end for the 486 processor because it wasn't that well at floating point units. The Pentium took care of that. It was up to 15. It had the instructions for the floating point unit on the Pentium showed enormous improvement, most notably FMUL, with up to 15 times higher throughput than in the 486 FPU. The Pentium is also able to execute an FXCHSTX instruction in parallel with an ordinary arithmetical or math or load store FPU instruction. 4-input address adders enable the Pentium to further reduce the address calculation latency compared to the 486. It has microcode. It had a much faster hardware-based multiplier and made instructions for it several times faster and more predictable. So, and it went on and on. There was many good things. There were bugs and problems with it, though. There was a problem with the Pentium known as the Pentium FDIV bug. It was noticed by Professor Thomas Nicely at Lynchburg College, Virginia, and he wasn't very nice when he told the people about it. The bug.
We're not looking to make offensive jokes. Just
no. We're nerds. We're funny. The bug caused embarrassments for Intel, which created an exchange program to replace the faulty processors. Soon afterwards, a bug was discovered which would allow a malicious program to crash a system without any special privileges. This was called the FOOF bug. Unfortunately, operating systems were also able to implement workarounds to prevent crashes. Also, the Pentium processors for the time had a high heat production due to their 5-volt operation, or were known as coffee warmers, because they'd get very, very hot. I'm privileged to have a very old Pentium 133 megahertz processor, and it has a heatsink about this big, about maybe 2 inches tall. This thing gets hot. After a while, they took care of it. The Pentium was Intel's primary microprocessor for personal computing during the mid-90s. And the Pentium processor is still very widely used. They've upgraded it quite a bit over time. Currently, the latest Pentium so far is the I am not sure. All I know is they're still making Pentium processors today. The Pentium processor is very, very, it's a popular processor. They still use them in computers today, like some laptops you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
The Pentium just did something that some of the earlier ones just couldn't do. It just the name, the word Pentium. It's just a name you can't forget about. It's a good processor. So yeah, I guess that's it for this. Anyway, that's it for History in the PC Realm. I'm sorry I wasn't able to exactly understand what I was talking about towards the end there, but really we're running out of time. So if you want to look it up, you can look up the Pentium processor on Wikipedia. That's where I get most of my information from my History in the PC Realm segments. So anyway, thanks for listening to History in the PC Realm. Now back to your regularly scheduled Tech 95 podcast.
In more recent news, we got one last thing we need to mention before we go about the Intel Haswell architecture. It's going to be designed to
Broadwell.
be. Sorry about that. Broadwell, excuse me.
The Intel Broadwell.
It's going to be designed to be physically smaller and draw a lot less energy, about 40 to 50 watts or something like that. I can't exactly remember what that web page said, but it was somewhere around 40 to 50 watts.
Yeah, I haven't heard an awful lot about the Intel Broadwell.
Yeah, me neither. Let's see here.
Let's see. Here we go.
Let's see. Broadwell is code name for the...
Broadwell is Intel's code name for the 14-nanometer die shrink of its Haswell microarchitecture due of late 2014, following Intel's tick-tock principle in the next step in semiconductor fabrication.
Let's see. Broadwell is expected to be launched in 4 major variants.
That's right, the BGA package,
the Broadwell Y, the Broadwell U, and the Broadwell H.
And then the LGA 1150 socket and the LGA 2011-3 socket. Also, the Broadwell EP, Broadwell EX, and the Broadwell H.
And the one for the socket LGA 1150 is expected to be released during Q2 of 2015. So around middle of next year.
Yeah. Broadwell's Intel QuickSync video decoder adds VP8 hardware decoding support. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Also, it will have 2 independent bitstream decoder BSD rings to the processor video commands on the GT3 GPUs. This will allow one BSD blue screen death. That's not what it means. BSD stands for bitstream decoder. It will allow one BSD ring to process decoding and the other BSD ring to process encoding at the same time.
And the LGA socket, go down there, 2011-3 is going to be a 70 to 160 watt TDP classes. Maximum supported memory speed is a quad channel DDR4 2400.
We're at the 25-minute mark, so I guess we better go.
Yep, we better go. Let's see. Is there anything you want to talk about?
Just a little sneak peek. In the next episode, we are going to be talking about Windows 9.
Okay.
And just a sneak peek. You're gonna like this. Windows 9, they're bringing back something.
But you can't guess.
They probably
we'll
can.
We'll have that.
We'll talk about it.
Yep, we'll have that in next week's episode.
Exactly. So anyway, thanks for listening to this 5th episode. We appreciate your patience with us. Thanks for listening. We've run out of time for now. This is Jonathan Hewlett.
And I'm Travis Smith.
And thank you for listening to Tech 95. See you later.
See ya.